All right, we've got an off-year election 2 weeks from today. We've got midterms 1 year and 2 weeks away, and members of both parties looking for any sign as to who may be gaining momentum. CNN chief data analyst Harry Enton is here, and I have to say, some new polling just out was really eye-popping to me.
It was shocking to me, John, and it comes down to party identification. Do you identify as a Democrat or as a Republican? And traditionally speaking, this is a metric that has been quite telling of elections, and we'll get into that a little bit. Party ID margin, Dem versus Republicans. Specifically, I'm talking about Gallup. Back in Q1 of 2025, it was a tie. Look at how much Democrats have gained on this metric, according to Gallup. Their latest metric, Democrats are ahead by 7 points. That is a 7-point movement to the left. I looked at some other pollsters as well to see if there was similar movement. Among Quinnipiac, it was +1 Republican. And you can see, again, movement to the left, Democrats +3. You know, last year, going into the 2024 presidential election, that was the rare time in which Republicans actually held a lead in Gallup's party ID measure. That Republican lead is no more. Adios, amigos, eliminated. Now Democrats ahead by 7 points, at least according to Gallup.
And this is when pollsters call and ask you for your party. Basically, this is self-reporting of what party you're in, and now you're seeing this 7-point swing in what people are saying in this. And historically, what has that meant?
Yeah, okay. What does it matter when Democrats have a lead on party ID at this particular point in midterm cycles? Well, I want you to take a look back at some past midterm cycles. Okay, right now we got the Democrats ahead by 7. You go back 4 years ago, the Democrats were only ahead by 1 point. This doesn't look anything like what we had at this point going into the 2022 midterm cycle. It looks much more like what we had going into the 2018 midterm cycle, in which Democrats were ahead by 4 points. They're actually doing better at this point than they were doing during the 2018 cycle. If you average in the Quinnipiac, it's about the same. But at this particular point, what you're seeing is Democrats doing considerably better than they did back in the 2022 midterm cycle. And more than that, Democrats have been gaining throughout this year compared to what we saw back in the 2021 year, in which we saw Republicans gaining during the year. And what we've ended up with in Q3 is Democrats ahead by 7, much better than the position that they had going into 2022, when they were only ahead by 1 point in Q3 of 2021.
So 4 points was a good year for Democrats in 2018. 1 point was a bad year for Democrats in 2022. The number 7, where does that rank? What does that tell us about how
what
they
is
might
that? Exactly right. All right, so we have 2022 midterm, we have 2018 midterm. Now let's go all the way back. We'll jump in the DeLorean and essentially look at party ID advantages in midterms. When the GOP gains House seats, look at this. Democrats were ahead by only a point. When the Dems gain House seats, look at this. Democrats are ahead by 8 points. Democrats are up by 7 right now. If this 7-point lead holds in the next year and it averages out next year in 2026, Democrats +7, there is no historical precedent for Republicans actually gaining House seats. The Democrats gain in every year. That looks like what Gallup shows right now.
Yeah, again, and this number right here for Democrats may be one of the better numbers they've seen in some time.
You got it exactly right, John.
All right, Harry Enton, thank you very much.
Thank you.